Hello, everyone. Welcome. My screen name is Covert Muffin, and here we are going to be speedrunning Hyper Light Drifter Glitchless. Join with me for tonight is none other than Ox. Ox, hello.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Awesome. So timing is going to start right when I hit the select button. So I'll just give a countdown. Timing starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Okay. So here we're in a cutscene, but I just skipped it. I missed cough skip, but that's okay. So in this game, it is quintessentially like a 2D Souls-esque type game with a flair for sword combat and dashing around. So in this beginning tutorial section, we're introduced to two mechanics. One is sword slashing, and the second is dashing. And both of them have a maximum threshold of 3. After I do a set of 3 of either of them, there's a small cooldown period before I can do something else. That being said, though, if I'm able to dash up against the ledge, or get like hit by an enemy projectile or something else, then I will be able to reset that dash count. That being said, we just picked up a pistol, so there's also ranged weapons in this game. And hearing this stand in a very specific corner and be able to get a pistol shot around that ledge. That being said, there is the first arena. Ox, do you want to maybe explain plinking?
Yeah, so in this game, we have a technique we call plinking, which is a fighting game term. It means you're buffering inputs by pressing 2 buttons, basically one right after the other. And we use it in Hyper Light Drifter to do extra damage in combat by canceling our shooting animation with a sword slash. And doing that also refills the ammo on the pistol by 1. So the pistol's ammo neutral when you're plinking. You never run out of ammo.
Yeah, exactly. Because every time we hit an enemy with a sword slash, we also refresh 1 ammo. Right,
so you're expending 1 and then immediately refreshing it.
Yeah, exactly. So here is a cutscene that we can't actually skip in Glitchless, just because it's not allowed, but in any percent and other categories, you can actually use medkits to be able to buffer yourself through that cutscene trigger and get to the other side. It's pretty insane. Really difficult. That being said, though, the general goal of this game, while we sit here for another 40 seconds about, is to go in 4 cardinal directions and collect 4 modules. Then we also have to activate a pylon in each direction. After we do this, it unlocks the final boss, and then we can progress and finish the game. Also, this game has a really high aspect on it for exploration and collectibles. And the way the game likes to do this is by introducing a currency called bits. And bits are going to be these little golden squares I'm going to be picking up in order to purchase 1 upgrade. Because there's really only 1 upgrade that's going to really help me progress through the game even faster. And that is going to be dash.
Right, you get an upgrade for your dash, which is called Chain Dash, and it lets you dash repeatedly so that you're not restricted to sets of 3 dashes. The trick with it is that a lot of the time we still only do chains of 2 or 3 just with very small breaks in between, because after 3 dashes you begin to have the possibility of bonking on walls, and then after 4 you start to slide at the end of your dash chains. So if you just chain 3 really tightly with good timing, you can avoid both of those things happening.
Yeah, so here I'm going to try for an arena skip. Oh, I just barely missed it. But I got both of the little green guys to commit Sudoku by jumping off the edge itself, so I both failed the arena skip and cleared the arena almost as quickly as possible. So I lost no time.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about that setup in this patch. Previously, in earlier patches, the geometry there was slightly different, so you could just kind of dash around the wall and you didn't have to worry about setting up or getting in the way of the enemies there, which are called dirks, by the way.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot simpler and faster, but you could risk dying a lot more easily because the guys wouldn't chase you. So this is actually nicer in some ways because even though the dash itself is harder, you have a chance to clear the arena anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So another thing that we haven't really talked about yet is we decide to start with north first. And the reason why we go for north is first it has a really nice bit layout, so being able to collect the bits in the least amount of time is really, really important for being able to get that chain dash upgrade as soon as possible, because it does really, really speed up the game. The second reason is that in Glitchless, especially, it's kind of the most compact level, and so we don't really get a lot of use out of the Chain Dash upgrade. So Chain Dash upgrade, if we were to get it before North, wouldn't really save us too much time. But upcoming here, we're going to be collecting our first module, our first of 4, by entering this room and walking on an invisible bridge, and then coming down these stairs, and boom. So here what I'm doing is immediately after collecting the module, I'm going to be pausing and unpausing, or rather opening up the menu and closing the menu. And the reason why I do this is because if I don't do it, the game will automatically open up my map. Because it says, hey, look, you collected a thing. And it's like, yes, I know. I don't need to be reminded, oh no, I'm getting chased by dogs. Okay.
And it is a rather long cutscene in speedrunner time.
Yeah. So do you want to maybe explain why I don't want to be 2 health going into this, these 2 arenas, Ox?
Yes. So these arenas that are coming up here have these bird wizard enemies, and their laser attacks that they shoot at you do 2 damage. So if you are at 2 or less health, you just get 1 shot by them. You have plenty of time to avoid them because it's a long wind-up period, but if you do get hit, not only do you take 2 damage, which can kill you, but you also get stunned for a long time. And then that tends to lead into getting hit more times.
Yeah.
Without being able to react.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, what I just did there is I picked up 2 extra bits, and I also picked up a key. Do you want to maybe explain where the key is going to come to use?
Sure, yeah. We get a module in the eastern region that is behind a locked door that requires a key. There are several different doors throughout the game that each require different numbers of keys to open. Keys don't expire, so if you have one, you just have it forever, even after you open a door. And that door is one of the faster modules for us to pick up in East. So that's one reason we get the key.
Yeah.
In any percent, we actually don't get that key because you can use out-of-bounds stuff to get to that door. But since we can't do that in Glitchless, we have to make sure we grab that key.
Oh, I messed up. The new arena. That's okay. Okay, that's alright.
One nice thing about these arenas is that they are preset. Everything happens the same way every time. So as long as you get your techniques down, you can predict, you can anticipate what's going to happen and make sure you get through it fast.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. That being said, what I just did there is I collected a waypoint. So every single time we collect a waypoint, we can use that to teleport back by opening the map. And we're going to see some really cool stuff that we're going to be able to do that with a couple of exploits in the game. Whoops, just fell off there, that's fine. That being said, whenever you collect a waypoint, you refill fully on health and on ammo. Then, if you don't pause and unpause, or excuse me, open and close the game menu again, it will forcefully open the map again. So, another way to mitigate that is by going through a transition zone. Okay, just gonna focus here. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Okay, I'm fine. We're okay. Oh no, I missed the last pistol shot. Oh well. So
one
really,
of the things that...
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
So I really wanted to kill that rifle trooper there immediately, because then it lowered the block sooner. So something I just did there is the use function in this game, or activation button, both helps you teleport, and then it also helps you collect modules. So right after I started collecting that module, I opened the map, and then moved around to teleport back to the waypoint, because the game allows me to do that. And so that saves a couple of seconds, because usually there's this big wind-up animation before you're able to teleport out. So I was able to sort of stack that animation with collecting the module animation. That being said, like, a lot of routing in this game is dependent on what modules are the quickest to pick up, and allow us to get through the important doors the quickest. So there, what you just saw me go through is a big purple door, and I'm required to have 3 modules in order to be able to pass through it. That being said, those 3 modules I picked up were the best. There was another one that I could have gotten after my second module, but it's like really far out of the way, and there's a ton of arenas that you have to do. But in a category like any percent, where you're able to, go out of bounds, you don't have to worry about that as much. Okay.
Right, and that brings up an important difference in the approaches between 80% and Glitchless. Like, obviously you can't go out of bounds in Glitchless, but you also, as a result of that, have a lot more forced combat. So it's a different mindset that you have to go into with realizing that you're going to have to go through more combat than with 80% and practicing accordingly so that you can make sure you don't slip up on combat techniques.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what I'm doing with this fourth module?
Yeah, so part of the game, similar to the hallucination cutscene at the end of like the tutorial region, every time you gather your fourth module of the area, which is intended to be the last one that you need to get in order to complete the game, the Drifter, our main character here, has a cutscene hallucination, and it takes a really long time. But you can just quit out to menu and then continue your game as soon as the autosave symbol pops up for getting that module, and it skips the cutscene entirely, which saves quite a bit of time.
Yeah. So upcoming here is going to be the first boss fight, and it's really intense and really difficult. So I'm going to focus. Alright, so I have a bad pattern. Shit, I got hit. So I'm going to heal. I'm playing it safe. I'm out of pistol ammo. Oh god. Oh, this is a train wreck. Okay. Oh, I might be dead! Nope! Still alive. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, that's fine. That's good. I want to do this. Try and do this fast. Oh, man. So, the way the paths work for this boss fight, it becomes really difficult, because they sort of travel around and sort of aim to where you want to go. So what I did there was I improperly manipulated a bunch of paths, and they were able to sort of catch up with me and lock me out of where I want to go. Oh. Oh shit, I have good RNG. Nice. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so in this final stage, the boss is going to teleport around. Oh, I got lucky though, he teleported back to null. Okay, that was kind of slow, but that's alright. Oh, that's okay.
This boss is actually one of the few instances of significant RNG in the game. The only other real RNG, especially at least in Glitchless, there's some in 80% in terms of AI manipulation, but most of the RNG in this game is really minor stuff with like how enemies react to your positioning. But the North boss has a lot of just actual RNG and how he moves around.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, in a normal run, like, dying is usually, like, probably the biggest time loss. And especially with that boss, it can be very, very scary, just because of how much damage it does and how difficult to weave around the patterns while continuing to deal damage as quickly as possible. But that being said, we're now moving into Charge Dash and to East, which is one of the most cool like sections for movement and stuff. It's really beautiful.
This is another reason that we always or generally go north first, is that East is a very open area and has a lot of room for chain dashing. Whereas, like Muffin mentioned earlier, north is pretty compact, so even when you have chain dash, you have to stop and change direction a lot. But East is a lot more open, so there's more room to chain dash, and in turn that means that's the biggest chain dash time save area.
Yeah, do you want to maybe go over the chain dash mechanics, like patterns of 2 and 3, bonking and sliding?
Yeah, I talked about it earlier, but I'll reiterate. If you chain dash twice, nothing bad happens, but if you chain dash 3 times, you can then bonk into walls. And if you chain dash 4 times, you start to slide at the end of your chain dashes. So generally, we try and do chains of 2 or 3, 3 in more open areas, 2 if we have to change direction a lot, and that way we don't have to worry about hitting walls so much. Bonking is still a big thing, since oftentimes, for optimization reasons, we go 3 dashes.
Yeah, so just as you saw there, I accidentally missed getting around a fence and ended up bonking into it. That's okay.
Right, and a slide right before that, so you can see both sides of the negatives there. And that's a large part of, honestly, gaining better times in this game is just the intermediary movement with chain dashes and being as efficient as possible. That's one of the larger differences between like a sub 40 time and a sub 36 time, which are both kind of milestones for different categories.
Yeah, so here I'm just going to get this east waypoint to fully heal up. It's like takes the same amount of time as collecting and using a medkit. And it's free, but we don't actually have to ever use it for teleporting. Also, something you'll notice that in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice a gray bar that's appeared, and that is my stamina. So just like Ox was discussing, it's really important that I start to think about stamina efficiency. Because once you get to a certain level in your ability to chain dash consistently in good patterns, you have to take account of how your stamina is draining. So chain dashing in sequences of 2 is the most efficient form of dashing. It costs the least amount of stamina for the distance and time you travel. That being said, the more dashes you add on, the more stamina you have to burn through. Nice! That was a really good section there. That's a really easy room to lose a ton of time in.
Yeah, any slip up right there, you start to get hit a bunch. And enemies can pretty easily juggle you through stuns because of just how long hit stun is in this game.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't help that the Drifter, the player character, stays in hit stun longer than the enemies do. So the enemies will have a leg up on you whenever you get hurt.
Yeah. Ooh, I got lucky. Okay. So do you want to talk about Boiler Room as or the Flamethrower Room or whatever it's called while I finish this arena off?
Yeah. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to remember which room is Boiler Room.
Yeah, so it's like, so it's the key door. It's like the really
key door.
terrifying room.
Sure. I haven't heard it referred to that before. Yeah, so this is the key room. This is why we get the key in East, and in any percent we ignore the arena he fought right before this and clip into it through the wall. But either way, you have to do this room, and this room is one of the biggest pains in the entire game for most runners. The fire is just really easy to run into if you're not careful, and that'll knock you down, and in the meantime there's a bunch of dudes shooting at you the whole time. So it's a lot of precision and getting used to enemy patterns, and doing the best you can not to just get shot a bunch and then fall into fire and then into water and lose all your health and die. Because the room can take a while if you're being cautious. So if you die near the end and have to go back to the start, it's a gigantic time loss.
Yeah, that went really well. That was really good. I didn't have to like stop or heal or anything, and I didn't die. So that's like that room is one of 3 areas that are extremely stressful for me in a speedrun. So doing that well in that room is really exciting.
Yeah, that was very clean.
I'm like, I can.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, like there's so much complex movement for me up ahead, but I breathe a huge sigh of relief just getting through that room. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Right. Me personally, I can generally expect to burn a medkit in that room because it's just you get hit a lot. So like halfway through all that crap, sometimes I'll expect to burn a medkit and keep going. Doesn't always have to happen, but you expect going into it that's gonna be hard.
Yeah. Oh, my face. Okay. Alright. So here's a small arena where I'm just going to be plinking and then doing a few pistol shots long range to be able to clear that last guy. And there's a pretty tight dash chain there that I did. That was really good.
You guys mind if I read a quick donation?
Oh yeah, please. Yeah, this is a good time. Oh no, I'm getting trolled.
Okay. Just $1 from Borobonga who says, in Chip and Dale's, I want to see Chipmunk Indiana Jones. Thank you.
Thanks, Borobonga. Okay. So coming through here, as Ox was talking about earlier, I definitely want to start thinking about the efficiency of my dashes and not wasting too much dash energy. Because right after this, I have to go back in and fight another arena, and I'm going to want to get to the enemies as quickly as possible. And whenever I start up another chain dash, there's a small cooldown before I start recharging stamina. Oh, that might hit me. Yeah, it hit me. 2 health. Okay, I'm going to heal. Oh no, I can just get this medkit out of my face. Oh my goodness. Okay. Nice. Alright. So do you want to talk about why East Boss is kind of silly?
Yeah, so East is kind of intended to be the first region you do on the part of the developers. So this is designed to be the easiest boss in the game. If you're just doing him casually, there are some things that can get kind of nuts and out of hand and be hard to deal with. He throws a lot of projectile jars and jumps all over the place. But you don't see that in the speedrun because you just lock his AI in place and just smack him a bunch from behind. So he gets looped into this animation of slamming the ground. You'll see him reach behind himself, or you saw him reach behind himself trying to throw jars at us, but it never happens. The developers actually were talking to the community early on and just said they weren't going to bother patching his AI because he's intended to be easy, and they felt that anyone who figures that out might as well just deserve the free kill.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So here I picked up the shotgun. It's going to be the most powerful weapon in the game, and we're going to be using it a ton in fights. But really quickly, I'm going to be... Oh no! Oh, I got the glitch. Damn! Oh, I knew this would happen to me. So I actually have to Alt F4 out of the game and reopen it. I got the menu
infamous.
glitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened there was I tried to use another technique to skip the 4-module door, or excuse me, the 4-module cutscene that gets played afterwards by teleporting back to town. However, what ended up happening there is after picking up the shotgun, there's a probability that the game's just going to forcefully change the map away back to the inventory because they use the same screen. And so because it was in the inventory, I wasn't able to stop collecting the module in time to switch it back to the map and try again. That's okay. That, like, if I get that in a run, it's really bad. But here in a marathon, it's completely fine. Only loses like 20 seconds.
Yeah, tops. It's not that big, but like you say, if it's a PB attempt, you're gonna reset on that, which can be really annoying when it happens in like West, this 3rd region, or South, the 4th region. Yeah. Especially South, because you're right about to finish the run and then you lose.
Oh god. Oh, that's the worst.
The nice part is that typically that's the spot it's going to happen in, especially in Glitchless, because you don't really open the inventory screen and you don't acquire new items. So it doesn't happen that much because acquiring new items is generally what triggers that. In any percent, it can happen a lot because you use a different trick that involves opening the menus a bunch on collecting modules and then move freely during those cutscenes. And if you do it wrong, you can get the menu glitch on teleporting out, like what happened to him in East, but you can also just soft lock your game.
Yeah, exactly. So here in West, that movement around those trees is actually really difficult. So doing that quickly is really good. Also, you'll notice that my dash energy is really low. So I'm going to do slow dashes to allow my stamina to regenerate, because we're in Dogeland 1, which can be really scary if you don't have fast chain dashes. Nice.
The dogs are scary because they have hitboxes on their attacks that are really disjointed, which means it goes beyond what you see on the animation, and they last a long time. So the dogs are kind of unfair and can easily just mess you up real bad.
Yeah. So here's an arena skip where I'm just going to walk into a pink tree, and because of that, I transition. So normally there you have to kill off a bunch of enemies, but the transition zone just happens to overlap a little bit too far to the right. And because the tree is a little bit deeper than the inanimate objects that are right next to it, I'm able to actually walk into the transition zone.
Right, and it's not a glitch for anyone who's wondering, hey, isn't this glitchless? It's just the fact that the geometry was not put into place very well. Yeah. So it's basically just walking around a wall, because that's literally what you're doing. It's just hard to see that you're walking around a wall because there's a tree there.
Yeah, exactly. And there was another one. Oh no. The infamous crystal. Okay. Oh no, the final boss. Oh boy. So here, upcoming here is going to be an explosive barrel. I've actually lost a lot of runs to this one particular explosive barrel because I was being greedy and only had 2 health and just being way too close. But there we go, we got past it. GG, runs over. We beat the final boss. So on each of these big crystals, they each have 3 health. So there I was using pistol plink to be able to deal 2 damage and then do 1 more sword slash. And in destroying destructibles gets you a little bit of ammo back, but it's not the full pistol shot. Oh, I fell. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna be okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So upcoming here, what's going to happen is this is actually a pretty new module routing found and pioneered by Icex. So major shoutouts to him. We used to have to do a different module that's a little bit earlier on, that has like arenas and really scary enemies that all have a ton of health and would cost a lot of time. But this one is actually like 10 times easier to get to, and it actually saves like 10 to 12 seconds as well, so that's really awesome. Alright, let's... Nice, I got past the big crystal guy. Oh, there's a dog left over. I didn't get past that one. That's okay. Alright, sick. So coming up here, I'm going to have to start being a little bit more cognizant of my ammo, because I'm not going to really want to fight enemies for the rest of the level. And I'm 2 ammo short, so I'm actually going to have to attack some enemies really quickly. But here's a really difficult dash sequence. Ooh, okay. I almost died there. But I saved it with invulnerability frames from bonking. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, I made it.
And do you want to talk about why you're being super careful about ammo right now?
Yeah, sure. So in the final boss, I'm going to want to go in having full ammo. Because with the shotgun, if I have 2 shotgun ammo full, out of a maximum of 3, then I'm able to plink 3 times. And then, before I run out of ammo. Oh, what am I doing? Okay.
It's worth noting the shotgun is ammo negative. The pistol's ammo neutral. It uses 1 ammo to shoot it, and then you swing a sword and get it back when you're blinking. But the shotgun uses basically the equivalent of 2 sword slashes worth of ammo.
Yeah.
So you're always losing basically half an ammo per plink that you do. But when those stack up, you get a total of 3 if you're full ammo.
I've got another quick donation.
1 sec. Damn it. Okay, I got it. Sorry, that boss fight is probably one of the scariest boss fights in the entire game. But yeah, sorry, you have time for the donation now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good, you're good.
We have $13 from Strife, who says, "Oh, to hell with a kill rush." So kill rush is now ahead.
Yes. So for anybody who doesn't know, immediately after this game is going to be Jedi Knight Academy, run by Sujiki. I believe I'm doing commentary for that. It's going to be a really incredible run. Anyways, now that we've finished West Boss, all we have to do is traverse through the dankness of Dogeland. So here there's a bunch of dogs, and... Oh no! Okay! This is fine. We're okay. We're okay. Oh no, one made it through! One made it through! Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
This is another scary area.
Oh, okay.
And you may have noticed, I wanted to go back real quick, you may have noticed on the West boss, once he has the shotgun now, during boss fights he's going to be firing almost entirely shotgun plinks. And the way we optimize the speed on that is that when you swap a weapon, it removes the cooldown on it. The shotgun and a few of the other better guns that you can find throughout the game beyond the pistol have a brief reload time after you use them, but if you switch weapons, it resets it. So we plink with the shotgun, switch weapons twice to bring it back out, and then plink again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. That is extremely important. Because the shotgun cooldown period is actually pretty long.
I believe it's like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It might be 1.5, something like that. It's long enough to be a problem.
Yeah, but now we've entered south because we've finished off each of the 3 cardinal directions, other cardinal directions. In south, oh boy. Upcoming here are going to be the 2 scariest parts of the run for me that I can, like, lose a lot of time on, and it's really easy for me to die. So here's going to be the first one where there's just going to be a huge flood of enemies. I'm going to try and activate... Oh no, I fell down. Okay, okay. Oh no, alright, I'm going to have to kill him. Okay, that's fine.
Part of the reason south is scary is you do have to clear all the other areas before you can even access this region, which they have used as a difficulty gating, so south is just harder. Like, the enemies are just stronger. That's what you would call the end game of Hardware Drifter.
Yeah, and so here is the scariest... Oh my god, and I got a perfect arena. Holy crap, I skipped the cycle. Oh my god, that's amazing. That is so good. That is insane. That is probably one of the most difficult things to do. Holy crap, that was perfect. So there I skipped the spawn of enemies by getting through that cutscene really, really fast. Okay, here we go. Oh no, I'm short on ammo. I think I can make this work. This boss fight's gonna be hard now, though. Okay, focus. I got him. Ooh, 1 second. Okay. Oh,
South is distinguished from the rest of the areas in that it actually has multiple boss fights. Only one of them is like canonically the boss of the region, but there are these 4 robot masters kind of characters that jump out at you in various rooms, and you have to fight them. They're all really unique fights,
yeah.
which I think is one of the coolest parts about this region is these boss fights.
Yeah, and I do believe Boss Rush got met, so I'm going to be able to show off those extra bosses as well.
Yeah, Boss Rush did get met, so
Yes!
happy days.
Oh,
Boss
that's
Rush is a really cool run. It shows off some excellent combat tactics that really only work in a vacuum.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see, because it's stuff that you normally don't get to see in a run because it's just not feasible.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things about that mode is I'm going to be able to have every upgrade, which in a speedrun, as Ox mentioned, is really just not feasible. Okay, here we go. I'm actually going to heal at this door at 4 health, so I don't die to Rocket Trooper guy. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Got him. Nice. Okay. Okay. Oh, I got trolled. Okay, we're fine. Oh no. Alright. Everything's okay. Oh boy. Alright, so there I picked up my second module, and we're going to collect a third. And so, coming up to the third module, we're going to have a, we're going to skip a good chunk of the pathway, just because we can sort of dash around and get onto an invisible platform. I'm going to heal here to be safe. Oh, I don't have ammo. There we go. Oh no. Okay, we're fine. There we go. And there it was, and that skips me from having to go into a room and try and work through a bunch of really scary enemies. And then in here, I'm going to try and pistol shot that barrel relatively quickly. And that's going to destroy off most of the enemies, if not all of them, in that arena. Nice. Okay. So now that we have 3 modules, we're going to start working our way to Archer. And Archer is probably one of the scariest bosses for a speedrun because of how the boss functions. Basically, it's going to be dashing around really quickly and then trying to get away from me and fire off a bunch of arrows. So there I was just refilling on some ammo. I might die. Yep, I died. That's fine. I figured that would happen. So there I got boxed out, so my original dash pattern got interrupted. And that's okay, that just happens in this room. Okay.
Archer, by the way, is the boss that would be considered kind of the boss for South Region, because the pylon that you need to activate to complete the region is located beyond her boss room.
Yeah. And this is sort of the last situation where I need medkits for this boss. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage. I missed a single cycle. Okay. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no, I died! No! Oh, I knew I would have trouble with Archer.
That was so close.
I knew I would have trouble. Okay, well now I can sing. Oh no, I'm all the way back here. Holy crap, dude, I didn't get the save. Oh man. So you want to maybe explain how and why I missed the save?
Man, it's been a long time.
That's okay. Yeah, I got it. So basically, if you're not walking or standing still for a split second, you can actually skip over a save trigger. And so that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, typically you get a save like right at the beginning of that room. It's just sometimes if you're a little too hasty and trying to go fast, you miss it. Which, you know, if you're good, won't be a problem. Yeah. But
yeah, so that was really... I'm actually really glad I struggled with that first Archer boss fight, and why this game is like a really amazing speedrun. Because you can get all of the boss fights consistent, as long as you understand how their AI functions and like what they're going to be doing. And so that being said, we just showed a really unclean archer boss fight where I wasn't able to pack on a lot of damage early and the boss got a lot of hits on me. And then we saw a really incredibly and clean boss fight where I was able to absolutely dismantle archer. So that was really good.
It's really interesting, and you'll see more of it in Boss Rush, but it's really interesting how much of a time difference it can make to barely get the manipulation on a boss correct versus barely missing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even small bits adjust things. The frog, obviously, it's mainly just how efficient you are with hitting him, because he doesn't do anything, but the rest of the bosses have a lot of nuance.
Yeah, there we go. So there is a dash puzzle. No problem. Easy peasy. And boom. So now we've collected 4 modules, activated 4 pylons. We're going to be able to head back to town to start approaching the final boss.
I do just want to comment real quick that the dash challenge module he got as the last one in South is actually much harder than he makes it look.
Oh, yeah. I actually missed it like 4 times in a row during a practice run today. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna mess up the dash challenge.
Basically, if you stop even a little bit in the middle, the platform falls out from under you and you have to restart.
Yeah.
It's very touchy. You have to not drop a single dash in the line.
Yeah. Yeah, like dashing in this game is really interesting because the spacing between the first and second dash is different for second to third and third to fourth. And then I think fourth and on is the same spacing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, I'm actually not... I can't spam click my mouse. I have to click in a very specific interval.
Yeah, there's a lot of having an internal rhythm for this game. Both in dashes and in plinking.
Yeah. So upcoming here is the final boss, and the final boss is definitely a boss I can majorly mess up. And in fact, in like most of my PBs, I've actually lost like 5 to 10 seconds to this boss by just messing up the fight. Oops. So one thing that we haven't really mentioned is that when you attack things, there is also a slowdown, as Ox mentioned earlier. And with bosses, the amount of time that gets slowed down is different for every single boss. So with this final boss, the slowdown is really huge. So I'm actually going to be plinking slower in real life than what I would do for another boss. And that's just to guarantee that I don't miss a plink.
Yeah, the input will get eaten if you're too fast.
Yeah. Oh no, okay. There we go. Good recovery. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing ammo. Okay.
When done optimally, the boss basically doesn't have a chance to do anything because he's waiting too long in between his attacks. He's not intended to be taking this much damage, so he gives you time in between his attacks. His attacks are pretty devastating, but when you're doing this much damage to him, the game doesn't really know how to handle it, so he just stands there and takes it.
Yeah. So that was a nice, really clean boss fight. So there I got knocked down once, and so that cost me about 3 to 4 seconds. Also, something that's really interesting is in between each phase, like when the boss teleports out and then teleports back in, so you can keep attacking it, right after it decides the location where it's going to teleport, you can start attacking it, even before it becomes visible on screen. So with that, because it's just a randomly decided, I wait for a visual cue, and then I was able to kill him very, very fast. Yeah. That being said, timing is coming up in a few seconds. It's going to be when the drifter slopes up against this wall here. And time. Okay.
Alright, nice run. That was a 38-25.
Okay. Alright.
Nice.
Nice. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Sub 40. I'll take it.
Yeah, nice. So are you okay to just move straight into the boss rush now? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just before we get into it, I have 2 quick donations, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it while I set this up. $1 from Barabonga, who says, "You guessed it, use Force Heal. Also, good job everyone on the Hekathon. It's awesome."
And now that we're... Oh, sorry, you know?
Yeah, that was supposed to be in your voice, Muffin. I think you did a very good job.
Thank you.
So, thanks, Bongo. We also have another $3 from Marwan, who says, "We have to save this poor guy. Rosh, please." So, save Rosh is now back ahead.
No mercy. No mercy on Rosh. Oh, man. Anyways, we are now into Boss Rush Fully Loaded. I'm just going to get really quickly to explaining. So in Boss Rush, in Fully Loaded, you start with all 6 weapons, including the sawed-off shotgun, which we use, as well as every single upgrade. So this includes all of the sword upgrades and all of the dash upgrades. There's really going to be only a couple of upgrades I'll be using consistently, but they're going to allow me to break the boss. Also, the other weapon I have equipped, because we can have 2 weapons equipped, is the Diamond Shotgun, which deals 1 less damage, and it also has a very small cooldown period. That being said, though, just like we sort of explained with plinking with the shotgun during the run, it also resets the cooldown for the Diamond Shotgun. So I'm going to introduce a new method of dealing damage, which is going to be rapidly swapping between these 2 shotguns and firing them to unload all of my ammo. And I decided to call this trick Going Postal. But if you're ready on time, I will give a countdown.
Yeah, just count me in.
Okay. Start in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So the first boss I'm going to be doing is Bullet Baker. And Bullet Baker is an alternative South boss, which we haven't seen. So there, I just dashed out of bounds to take a little bit of damage ahead of time. And so with this, I'm going to, accidentally kill the boss. That's okay. So the goal there was to actually die on the same frame as the boss by running my with his bullets, and then that would have allowed me to walk out of this fight having full ammo and reset my health. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So here, with the second boss, because I have 2 shotgun ammo, I'm going to be using Plink pattern, which is exactly what I did in Glitchless. However, because I have this new upgrade, which is the Sword Charge Slash, I'm going to be able to destroy all of the minions he spawns instantaneously, refilling all of my ammo, and then be able to shotgun Plink the rest of the way. Awesome. So that's 2 bosses done. Up next, I'm going to do West Boss, because West Boss is one of the scarier bosses. This might take me a try or 2. So here, I'm going to unload all of my ammo, and then I'm going to use a new upgrade that I call Dash Slash, or it's called like Phantom Dash, and that's going to allow me to confuse the boss AI a lot. So there, I missed the single cycle, but that's okay. So there, I just took it slow and used sword slashes to finish him off in order to refill my ammo. Because speedrunning boss rush mode, there's like an interesting balance between dealing damage really fast and refilling ammo. That being said, though, because I'm nearly full on ammo, I'm going to do North next, which is equally as difficult of a boss fight. So here I'm going to Phantom Slash into the boss in order to go in instantaneously. So there I got a proper pathway manipulation. Okay. Nice. Okay. And there, using a culmination of extra attacks, I'm going to be able to kill that boss. And there you saw a huge cluster of pathways that the boss was spawning. Because the faster you actually start to do North Boss, the harder it becomes, which is really, really funny. That being said, I am completely out of ammo, so I'm going to be diverting to do East Boss next. And the reason why I'm doing East Boss is because, once again, same as Glitchless, I'm just going to be able to stand in one spot and refill all my ammo. So there, I'm going to use another one of those special dashes to be able to get really close to the boss. Then using a bunch of sword slashes and a charge slash at the end is going to allow me to deal maximum damage and refill my ammo. Up next, I might fail this boss, so I'll take an intentional death if I do to try and show off a really cool strat. But if I miss it a second time, I'll just do a different strat. Oh shoot, I just bonked against the invisible wall. Okay, so I'm going to take an intentional death here to try and show this off. Which wastes only a couple seconds. That's completely fine. Alright, sweet. There we go, I got it. So now that I'm close to the boss, I'm going to use Going Postal in order to keep the boss away from me. Oh, I almost just died there. Oh, I did die! Oh no! Oh, that's so bad. Oh, he had 1 health. Oh, rip. Okay, that's fine. Okay, sick. Alright. So, unloading all of my ammo like that is going to allow me to get really close to the boss and take him down really fast. Nice. So that was a much better second fight, and that's okay. That'll just happen to you. So here we only have Archer left because we've finished off the other 6 bosses. And Archer is going to be another one of those bosses that's going to be a lot easier because I have Going Postal at my disposal. I also have this projectile reflect feature, which is going to allow me to deflect all of her arrows back into her, just like that. Nice. And then I can just easy peasy single cycle her. Like, usually in a normal glitchless run, you can still single cycle her with plinking in the works, but becomes a lot more difficult. Because you don't have the arrow deflect like you do in this game mode. So here we go, one more boss to go is the final boss. And this boss is just easily cleaned up because of Going Postal. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit him with a charged Sword Slash, because that refills more ammo than just using normal Sword Slashes. Then I'm going to use that ammo to just Going Postal. So there's this kind of method where I'm going to be unloading all of my ammo, then refilling it, and unloading it all again. There we go. And just like that, first phase is done. And then I kill one of those guys in order to refill my ammo. And then even before he lands, I'm dealing enough damage in order to completely take out the boss. And boom. And time. GG.
Nice.
Yeah, and that is boss rush mode. Nice, 4 minutes and 30 seconds isn't too bad. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. This was Hyperlight Drifter. Thanks for all the donations and helping people get to ESA. Next up is going to be Jedi Knight Academy.
Yeah. If you have any shoutouts or anything you want to say at the end here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, shout out to the Hyperlight Drifter community. If anybody's interested in speedrunning this game, just go to speedrun.com/HLD. And in the resources tab, there's a link to the Discord. Very easy. Everybody's like really friendly and really helpful. When I started picking up this game, there's a ton of different categories. So if you want to do Glitchless, which is the most common run category, or if you want to do something like any percent or all bosses or all modules or boss rush, there's like something for everyone. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Muffin, for the run, and Ox for the commentary.
Yeah.